What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna give you my first impressions and go through all the features on the new car, the 2013 Audi RS5. Let's do it. If you watched my last video about that problem with the dealership, that's not this car. This is a different car. This is a car that I mentioned in the end of that video where I had a couple more leads. This one worked out, all thanks to Right Ride. Make sure you go check out the video where I reveal the car and give a huge shout out to Right Ride in South Calgary. And of course, Roel at 328 Auto Salon. Those guys hooked it up. So what we have here is a naturally aspirated 4.2 liter V8. On paper, it makes 450 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. I know that sounds a little low on the torque, but honestly, so far, I haven't really noticed in the change from the Durango, which I believe I had up to 377 torque. This thing definitely feels quicker. Gonna go for a drive in just a little bit, but a couple more things depend on who you ask. 0 to 60 is somewhere between 4.2 and 3.8 seconds, which is pretty fun. But one of my favorite things about the car is actually how it handles tight corners. I do have some mods on the way, so this video is really to kind of go over the car, my first impressions of the car before we mod it up. One of the first things is these stock wheels are pretty scratched up. Not too bad, they look great. I'm probably gonna use them for winter wheels. But inside here, of course, it got huge, big brakes. I'm not entirely sure how many pistons, but it is a lot. And we have this flower type rotor, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you know what? They work pretty good. And it's nice having big brakes. Up here, we have this sunroof, moonroof kind of thing. It doesn't open all the way, but it does vent, which is really useful when it gets hot. But the size of it is really nice for seeing the mountains or any other upward facing landmark. Over here to the back of the car, we have the active aero spoiler. There's a little switch inside that you can use to put it up manually, which is pretty neat. But it also auto deploys at 120 kilometers an hour and then goes back down at about 80. The trunk is fairly large for a mid-sized coupe. So little grocery hook things are pretty cool. They'll definitely come in useful. So this car is running very wide tires all around, 275 30/20s, and these particular tires are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. So far, my experience with them has been pretty great. Although moving forward, I might go to a little bit more of an all-season, just because, you know, I will be daily in this, even throughout the fall, and then winter tires for the winter, of course. And these rims, you know what? I'll probably use these rims for my winter rims. You can see some of the scratches right there. All right, I think it's time we take it for a spin. So coming from the Durango, this thing does feel really low to the ground. I don't know how it would compare to other cars, but it feels like you're on the floor and driving a go-kart. Little look around the dashboard here. Of course, we have the RS5 steering wheel with the flat bottom. It's a little bit shiny, but you know, I might get it wrapped Alcantara. I really appreciate the RS5 badging on the rev counter. And if you'll notice, this thing revs up to about 83,000 revs. And when you're riding manual, that's pretty fun to use. In regular sport mode, it doesn't go all that high. In order to get it to rev that high, you kind of have to do manual paddle shifters. This car does come with the carbon optics package. So we've got real carbon fiber here. We've got it on the doors, even into the back seats. And of course, you also may have seen it in the engine bay, which is pretty nice. One of the things I was kind of worried about coming from the Durango is losing some of the modern features it had, but honestly, this thing has all the modern features I would expect to have. We got, heated seats, dual climate control, cruise control. It's got sat nav, Bluetooth, and the sat nav actually uses Google Maps, which is pretty neat. And of course, it comes with the Bang & Olufsen speakers, which are pretty banging. The screen multimedia system is a little outdated, sure, but it does everything that you want it to do, and it's responsive and quick. In the back, there's plenty of room for 2 kids or even 2 adults without the car seats. We've got sunglasses holder, garage door, and of course the huge sunroof. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but somebody told me that these seats are actually Recaro seats. But I can tell you, they're very comfortable. And they have this great extender if you have long legs. Before we head off on our drive, I just want to quickly talk about the different modes this car has. So dynamic mode is the most fun mode. That's sort of like your sport mode, kind of. It stiffens up the steering and suspension, opens the exhaust valves. But really, what's the proper way to drive it is put it in dynamic mode and then shift the gear shifter past drive all the way down into S mode. That's what makes the car have those excellent downshifts and better shift points, better throttle response, and that's when it goes quick. We also have auto mode, which I haven't really explored yet, but I think it just changes it based on your speed or how you're driving, but I'll have to look into that one. I've mostly just been using comfort and dynamic. Comfort is awesome. It softens the suspension, lightens up the steering, makes the car really quiet and calm. Nice to drive with the kids and the family, just to cruise around town nice and slow. And individual is, you can customize it your own preference. You can have it, light steering, but loud exhaust, whatever you prefer. But I tell you, I spend most of my time in dynamic with sport mode on, or comfort mode when I'm with the family or just want to chill out and cruise. Okay, I think it's time to go, but before we go, you got to hear the exhaust. Now, it's not cold, but I'll start it up, give it a couple of revs. I'll make sure it's in dynamic sport mode, and you can see what the exhaust sounds like. I'm thinking I might do an exhaust, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Just about to take off in a little cruise and my microphone died, so hopefully the audio is all right. I'll do my best to try to fix it if it's not. But I wanted to show you something real quick about turning this thing into proper sport mode. So right now we are in dynamic mode, but if I come over to the center screen, you can see that it is in D, normal drive. So you come down here to the gear shifter and press it down. I don't know if you could hear that, but it definitely got a little bit louder. And now we have an S. We are now in dynamic sport mode and ready to go. So just as I'm heading to somewhere where we can open it up a little bit, I can talk briefly about just the general ride and how the car feels. Again, I'm coming from a Durango, big, comfortable, smooth SUV, but I can tell you this thing is really smooth in terms of how it puts down the power. It's not too aggressive, it's quick, and then it just keeps going. I will, however, say that depending on the road and the mode you're in, if you're in comfort or dynamic mode, but even in comfort mode, on some of the terrible roads in Calgary, the suspension is stiff. It's a stiff suspension, but I mean, that's exactly what I wanted, essentially, to be able to, take corners quicker and to drive this thing a little bit more lively and a little bit more spirited. Okay, we got our red light. Pop it into manual mode. And we'll just do a little pull. The speed limit is 60 kilometers an hour here. I don't want to go too crazy. Like I may have said earlier, this car is a little bit more fun to drive in manual. In regular dynamic sport mode, it will rev high, but not as high as you'd want it to if you just drive manual. So in most cases, when it's time to go a little bit spirited, it's far more fun to drive it in manual. Sometimes on ramps to the highway, I like to slow down a little bit just till I get to the highway itself, so you can get a bit of a pull. That just feels so good. I'm never gonna get bored of that. Inside the cabin, the exhaust is pretty quiet, even when you're in dynamic sport mode and you're driving spiritedly. So I might do something with the exhaust, but I think that's just the sound deadening for the cabin. Outside, I've heard that it can be pretty loud. One of my favorite things about this car is how it handles corners. The twisty turns are really fun, and you can take them way quicker than you think you could, especially coming from the Durango. These highway on-ramp and off-ramp things are fun. One thing I forgot to mention is the downshifts. It does this rev matching kind of thing in dynamic sport mode, and it sounds beautiful, so I'll make sure we try get some of those just as we come into the neighborhood here. So my final thoughts on this first impressions video is this car is awesome. I've never driven anything like this. I've driven cars and little small cars back in the whole country, but never anything like this. And in North America, mostly just been driving SUVs. And so this is a whole different experience for me, and so far it's been fantastic. Even with an older car, it's been really good. I mean, there's always going to be mechanical things here and there, but you know, I don't mind that. You know, it's what goes with everything. It's a machine at the end of the day. But my driving experience with this thing so far has been amazing. And I've yet to take it out to the mountains. Hopefully gonna do that really soon, and we'll make sure we get a video of that. I do have a few tasteful mods planned for this. Wheels, some aero, potentially maybe in the future I might wrap it. Maybe I might go a little nuts and do a crazy livery. Let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do for mods. I'm always open to ideas. But thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. The channel's been growing and it's been awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you could hear those downshifts.